to think about what role can rooftop solar and community batteries play in this bigger picture of what we're trying to do. And a lot of this thinking came about when Sally Situ and I went out to see, this is Ausgrid's demonstration battery in Bankstown. I don't know if any of you have seen it or gone out there. It's a Tesla battery. This is the Ausgrid engineer who was kind of showing us around. And I was fascinated by this battery. I was asking him, all right, so how many households can this battery kind of power? And he said, look, it depends. It's not an exact kind of size, but he was saying, look, between 100 to 200 households, this battery can power or can supply, can service, right? And I said, okay, what does a battery like this cost? And he said, prices keep coming down, but he said about $500,000, about $500,000, right? So then I was sort of thinking, just doing the maths in my head, well, that kind of means, you know, if you have 100 customers and that costs $500,000, that's $5,000 per customer, right? If you had 200 customers hooked up to that, that's $2,500 per customer. Now, if you were to buy a Tesla home battery, how many of you have solar on your roofs? How many of you have batteries connected to that? Okay. Part of the reason why is one of the Tesla household batteries that will let you store the excess energy that you generate costs about $15,000 to $20,000 installed. Right? So it's a big cap. So if you add that to the cost of installing your solar, you're talking $30,000, $35,000. It's a big payback period. The light bulb that went on was when this guy said one of these batteries costs $500,000 and it can supply 100 to 200 households. That means the capital cost of one of these things per household is $5,000 or $2,500. So that's kind of where all this sort of started. And our question here is, our objectives here, just as I hand over to Nicholas, is to ask, how do we, by using batteries and using rooftop solar, how do we lower energy prices? How do we assist and push along the energy transition by providing stability to the grid, because that's what the batteries do. And you have all these batteries, they provide that sort of stabilizing, absorbing sort of role. But importantly, how do we give the community much more autonomy and control and sovereignty over their own power? So that's the context, and I'll hand over to Nicholas now. Nicholas and I have known each other for a very long time, since university. We're good buddies, but I won't introduce him. I'll let Nicholas introduce himself.
Thank you, Jason.
No worries.